Okay, so I welcome you to day 7, part 2 of the 30 Days Tech Career Challenge. Okay, so this is a training series for people that want to begin a career in tech. So if you want to begin a career in tech and you don't know where to start, this is a training series for you, especially networking and cybersecurity. So if you are planning to begin a career in networking and cybersecurity, this is the right training series for you. Okay, so we have covered in the day 1, we cover what a network is all about, the 2 components of a network. On the day 3, we cover the numbering system, how computer interpret network, how computer memory works. And day 4, we talk about IP address and MAC address. Okay, while in our day 5, we talk about IP address, private and public IP address and all of that. They are all broken down in day 5. Okay, and in day 6, we break down what a local area network is all about. We set up our first local area network and all of that. Okay, and day 6, part 2, we talk about unicast, multicast, broadcast, and in day 6, part 3, we also talk about wireless and LAN. While in day 7, part 1, we talk about Cisco router, switch, how to administer, how to configure, how to practice with Cisco router and switch using packet tracer. That is what we did in day 7. And here we are right now, day 7, part 2. Okay, if you have not watched all the previous training, you can just check around the channel, AJ Everton Networks. All the previous classes, all the previous days are there. Okay, you can go and check it right now. Okay, and make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out on our upcoming training, on our other topics that we'll be discussing in the future. Okay, we're talking about different advanced topics in cybersecurity and networking. Okay, so go and subscribe, like this video so that you don't miss out. So I welcome you to the 7, part 2 again, where we'll be discussing we'll be configuring live router right now. Okay, we'll be configuring router and switches, we'll be carrying out basic configuration. Okay, so go and subscribe to the channel. If you are not subscribed, go and subscribe, go and subscribe, go and subscribe. Go and subscribe, okay? Let's go to the class right now.
Okay, so let's go and perform some router and switch basic function. You know, I said earlier that every features and commands that you can use in router, you can also use them on switch as well. Okay, I'm referring to Cisco switches. The same command you are using on the router is the same command that you will use on the Cisco switch. So let's go and do 1 or 2 basic functions. Okay, so let's go and we practice a app and editing feature. We configure hostname, banners, password, and the rest. So let's go to our packet tracer. So let's bring out a router. Let's bring out a router. Okay, router switch. But basically, we are making use of just one router to perform all of this. So open your router, go to CLI. So now when you get to this place, I already told you to press no, since you are not making use of the configuration dialog. So press no, press enter. This will enable. So now the editing feature we are looking at is how to, when you are like stuck, you don't know what next to type, okay, on the command line interface. All what you have to do is to do question mark. Just type question mark. Okay, so question mark will show you available commands that you can type at that particular mode where you are currently. Okay, at that particular mode where you are currently. So that means from this place, you can type show. Okay, show running system information, that you can type show. Okay, you can say show. Can you see I use command line again? Sorry, I use a question mark again. Show, I can say show session. Okay, I think we have no session currently. It said no session open. Okay, so that's how to use question mark. So let's say we are inside privilege mode. You can still use your question mark. Like I said, anywhere you are, just use your question mark to ask the router that what are the available commands that you can use. What are the available commands that you can use? So let's say from here, that means I can set the clock of this system here. This is a command for setting clock. So let me type clock. Can you see? Now I don't know what next to type. So you can still use the question marks to see what next string can be typed. Okay, and you see set. So that means I can type set. I can still use question mark. It says hours, minutes, and seconds. So let me set this time. Say 07 07. Okay, 7 hours, 7 minutes, and 7 seconds. Okay, current time. Can you see? With the help of the question mark, I'm able to know what next to type. It said day of the month. So let me say today is 23 months. Let me put August. Okay, let me put 2025, for instance. Okay, so I just set the date and time of this router now. Okay, so now whenever you see this CR implies that your command is now complete. You can press enter and that command you press will take effect. That is the meaning. You can now press enter and your command will take effect. We make changes to the router. So it means at this stage, I can press enter. I just set the clock of this router now. Okay, I just set the clock of this router. So that's how to use your question mark help function. Okay, to help you, let me go to, you can use anywhere you find yourself. Okay, I can use it here. Okay, let's say I type in IP. I don't know what next to type. Okay, access list. I don't know what next to type. So that's how to use the help function. Okay, and also take note of some errors that do come up whenever you are trying to type a command. Let's say I type IP and I press enter. It says incomplete command. Incomplete command. It means there are other strings. There are other things that I need to type in front of that IP. So let me say I type TCP. Let me press enter. It still say incomplete. Okay. So it means there are other things. If you type something that it doesn't understand, let me say I type something like this. It said invalid input detected. That means what I'm typing is not recognized, it's not recognizable. It's not recognizable by the router. It doesn't understand what you are typing. So it will help you with this small carat sign pointing that it is from this place your error started. That T is still valid, but anything after T, you made a mistake. Okay, so that is the meaning of that. So let me show you another one. Let's say clock sets. You can set clock from here. Okay, we even just did that. So let's say I press enter. Say incomplete command, meaning there are other things that I need to type. There are other things that I need to type. So if you notice, we are setting our time from a privilege mode, right? So now let's go to config mode and see if you can set time. Okay, let's go to config mode. If I type clock and I say set, okay, let me press enter. It said invalid input. Let me come again. let me clock set, and I press question mark. It says unrecognized command, meaning where you are right now, it doesn't understand what you are trying to say. Okay, that's the meaning. So that means after clock, there is nothing like set. Can you see? After clock, what you have is a time zone. You want to configure time zone. Okay, so it doesn't understand. You now say clock set. It doesn't understand. You now put question. It doesn't understand what you are trying to do. So always take advantage of all these messages to understand the error you are making in order for you to make right correction. Okay, so let's go back to privilege mode. To go back to privilege mode, just type control set to take you back to whenever anywhere you are in the router. If you press control set, you take you to the privilege mode. So now let's go and set the host name of the router, of this router. Okay, so there are times that you can have thousands of routers on the network. Okay, all these banks, all these big corporations, they do have thousands of routers, thousands of branches around. So for you to know the name of the router you are dealing with at a particular point in time, you need to have a name for it. Okay, so let's go and set the host name. Go to your config mode. Okay, set host name. Host name, let's call it AJ Everton headquarter router. Okay, that means I can press enter, right? Whenever you see this, it means I can press enter, if you remember. So now if I press enter, you will notice that the name of this router will change. Okay, let me press enter. Can you see that the name has changed? Can you see? So that anytime you see this, you're on the network and you see this router, you will know that this router is the one that goes to the headquarter. Is the one that goes to the headquarter. So that's how to set. That's how to set router's name. That's how to set router's name. So let's move to the next one. Banner. Banner is that message that is displayed when your router is inactive. Let's say your system is sleep, your laptop is on a sleep mode. So a message just display for anyone that wants to log into the system, for them to see that, hey, this is Bola system, don't touch it, or this is where to log in. Okay, so banner is just that message that displayed why your router is inactive. So let's go and configure banner. Okay, so at the config mode, say banner. So there are two forms of banner. We have login banner and we have MOTD banner. So login banner is the one that we show whenever you want to log into your router. Okay. MOTD is just that banner that shows whenever your router is inactive. It's just inactive, just sleep there. Whenever your router is just at a sleep mode, it's just sleeping there, working. Okay. What you will first see is the MOTD banner. So let's go and set our login banner. So I said banner login. So now, welcome. Whatever you start with is what you must end with whenever you are typing this. So I'm starting with hash. You can start with anything. You can start with any letter. So I'm starting my banner with hash space. Let me say welcome to AJ Everton Network Limited. Okay, you must end it with what you started it with. I say space, then I started with hash. Then press enter. I just set my banner. I just set my banner. Just set my banner. Okay. So that's how to set a banner. Let's move to the next one. Password. Let's go and set password. Let's go and set password. Enable password. Enable password. Let's go and set enable password. What you want to do now is that whenever you are in exec mode, if you type enable, you want to be using password to enter privilege mode. So instead of when I type enable and the router take me into privilege mode, nothing like password, right? So let's go and set password so that whenever I type enable, a password will be requested for me to be able to enter privilege mode. So from config mode, say enable password. We have enable password and we have enable secret. The difference is that if you use enable password, your password will be in plain text, meaning anybody that check the running configuration of your system can easily see the password that you are using. Okay. Why secret? When you use enable secret, it means the password will be encrypted. So let's go and try it. Let's say enable password. Let's say our password is a Cisco 123 at. Then press enter. So let's go and see our running configuration. Show run. You can see I'm using short command. The thing is, when you understand the command you are trying to type, okay, router will take all these short command from you, meaning you understand what you are trying to type. Show, that means what I'm trying to type is show. I say show run. That is the complete is show running configuration. So if you use a show, then you press space and say run. It's still the same thing, show running configuration. So let's go and see our, can you see our running configuration? See the host name that we configured earlier. This show run command, you will be using it a lot. You will be using it a lot just to check what you are doing on the router. Can you see? See the host name that we configure. Now see the enable password. It is in plain text. If somebody is at my back now, that want to cause havoc, that want to wreak havoc in the company, or that want to, maybe the person is beefing me, I'm a senior in the office and is trying to implicate me. He can easily come and log into this router at my back because he has seen this plain text password. So solution to that is enable secrets. So when we use enable secrets, when we use enable secrets, our password will be encrypted. Okay, will be encrypted. So let's still use Cisco 123 at. Cisco 123 at. So let me press enter. This is not recommend. Enter the, you have chosen is the same with your, okay. I use it's saying I use the same password with what I used before now. So I should use a different password. So let me use, when you want to see your last command that you type, just press your arrow key, your arrow up key. Can you see? I don't need to type again. So I use Cisco 124 this time around. Good. So let's go and do show run again. Show run. Can you see the enable secrets? it is encrypted. You can't interpret this. The Cisco 124 out that I just typed, see how the system turned into. This is what I typed. See what it turned into. It is encrypted now. Nobody can see it. Nobody can see it. So that's the advantage of enable secret. So let's go and test if this is working. Let's go to the enable mode. Then let me try to enter the router, enable it. You ask me for password. Can you see? I need password to enter. I just set a password for this router. This is the same way you will do for a switch, a Cisco switch too. Okay, so let me type the password Cisco 124 parts. Cisco 124. I think I'm not getting the password. Enable. Okay, so that is it. So what I use is this password that I set, enable secrets. Okay, so that's how to set password for your router and for your switch. So now let's do interface description. This command also is very useful so that anybody that is under any of the interface, we know what that interface represents. This is what I mean. Let's say this particular leg of our router goes to another network, for instance, or another branch. Okay, this is interface gig 00. So let's go and put description under this interface. So let's go to our config mode, interface gigabit 0/0. Okay, so from here I can write description. I can say description. I put the name of the description. Lagos branch link. So that if any network admin come, or maybe they sack the current network admin, they now employ a different network admin. If that person comes, he'll be able to know what that link represents. That's the purpose of this description command. So let's go and check. Let's say show running configuration. Let's go to our link. Can you see? So when the person enter interface gigabit 00, it will see this for him to know that this particular port, this particular interface goes to the Lagos branch. Okay, so that's the purpose of description command. Description command. Okay, I think we have done enable password and enable secrets. We have done that. Now let's go to encryption. Encryption. So now, if you have more than one password set on your router and these passwords are in plain text, they are in these formats. Let me show you what I mean by plain text. They are in this format. Can you see this is in plain text? Anybody can read it. Whenever you hear plain text, it means anybody can read it. So now you can use a command to hide all this type of password on the router. If you have other password you configure on your router, you can hide it by using a command called encryption. Just go to your config mode, type service, can use question mark. This is service, password encryption. Okay, press enter. At this stage, if I go and do show run again, that my plain text password will now be encrypted. Okay, will now be encrypted. Can you see? the same Cisco 123@ is now this very long number of string of letters, number, and all of that. But this is crackable, very easy to crack. It's not advisable to use it to totally rely on it. It can be cracked, very easy to crack. Okay, this is still the strongest. Okay, this is still the strongest. So take note of that. So now let me go and show you how to use a do command. Do command. Do command. Normally, if I want to do show run, all I have to do from here is to type show, run config, and type enter, right? Now, if I want to use any command that I can use comfortably in a privilege mode, if I want to use that same command in the config mode, it will not work. It will not work. Let's go and try it. Let me say show run from here. Show run. Show run. Let me press enter. It doesn't work. It said there is an error. It doesn't work. So for it to work, for any command that you are using comfortably at the privilege mode, for it to work at the config mode, you have to include do at the beginning of your command. So I just put do show run now. You see that it will go now. Can you see? So maybe you are under a particular mode, maybe you are configuring an interface, and let's say you are under interface, this interface, and you don't want to go out. You don't want to go out. You don't want to start typing exit, or Control-Z for you to go to the privilege mode for you to see the running configuration. You want to check running configuration at that place where you are currently. So I'm here, for instance, and I want to check what I just did under this. Let's say I just added IP address, and I want to check. Let's say I put IP address 192.168.10.1255.255.255. I just added IP address to this interface, and I want to check in my running configuration whether the command take effect. I don't want to go back to privilege mode. So all I will do is just do show run, and it will still show me, and I will still be under that interface mode. Can you see the IP address that I just entered? Okay, if I go back to this, I'm still under that interface mode. Okay, I'm still under that interface. So that is the purpose of a do command. So let's go and save our. You can try Control-Z to go to privilege mode direct without needing to type exit many times. I've already told you that. So let's go and save our configuration. Okay. So I will do copy running config to startup config. Okay, that's how to save, right? Press enter again. There is a short command that you can be using to save your configuration, and that command is WR. Just type WR. It will perform the same function as this. So take note. Instead of typing this very long command, you can just type WR. I use it a lot. Okay, you can do it also when you are anywhere in the router. Okay, in any other mode in the router except the exec mode. So let's say I'm here, I want to save. I just did 1 or 2 configuration, and I want to save it. And I want to save it without going back to the privilege mode. I just say do right. Do W. So it's still the same thing. So that's another way of saving command. I think we have exhausted this. the next lecture, we'll be setting up our first network, our first LAN. So see you in the next lecture.